It is a beautiful day in Zamunda. But you know what? It's really cold outside, but it's refreshing since we went through a summer of being on the planet of Mars. So, just want to welcome everybody to this new month. Today is 11/1, and for my folks out there, excuse me, who are into numerology, you already know what it is. This day can be whatever you decide that you want it to be. And I pray that everybody has the day they think that they deserve. And the whole time I'm talking, the sun is just coming through. But you know what? Hey, Mr. Sun, how you doing? There's been quite a few things that have been, on my mind. And I'm one of those individuals that actively writes in my journal about everything. That I don't openly discuss about is for me to know and for nobody ever to find out. Like they say, the moon knows all my secrets. But a few things that have definitely come to mind in my introspection of life in general, since we have this month and next month before we go into the lovely 2024. I don't know what level of Jumanji we are on, but I'm over it and ready to go to planet Jupiter. So, anywho, a couple of things, just wanted to, just share my thoughts. And as I always do with all my video blogs and my regular blog, I am not an expert on you. You are an expert on yourself. I just merely share my experiences in hopes to, enlighten someone, to, help them along their path. Because when you help one, you help all. That's just my theory in life, as well as leave people in a better condition than how you found them. So let me get to the meat and potatoes of, why I'm doing another video blog. You really don't know how irrelevant something is until you reach this energetic level of how it just doesn't serve you anymore. You don't have any feelings about it. You don't have any emotions about it. It wasn't working for you. And you then ponder, okay, it worked for me before, it's not working now. That's because who you were then is certainly not who you are, now in this, in your current state. So you got to be thankful for that upgrade. Whether you openly wanted to accept it or not, you needed that upgrade. We just had a whole bunch of, energetic things going on. Full moon, new moon. We had Halloween yesterday, and the veil was very, very, thin. So I hope everybody took that time to talk to their, deceased family members, because messages were coming through, even in your dreams. Never ignore your dreams, because they have messages that you're not looking for, but it would be everything that you need to know. And then the other thing is that I don't know who this is for, but your self-care, or how you do self-care, is strictly, on you. Don't feel bad about being selfish when it comes to you. There's levels to being selfish, and society has this idea that's only one level. It's many levels to being selfish, especially when it comes to being a giver. Like me, myself, I'm a giver. And at times I don't know when to stop, because I love being able to help people. But I had reached that conclusion that, you can only help people as far as they want to be helped. So I decided, you know what? So I ultimately made the decision that I'm just going to be selfish with myself. Because, there it's just me. And can't nobody take care of me like I can take care of me. And I would never put that responsibility on somebody else unless they were my husband. I'm responsible for me. I'm responsible for my happiness. I'm responsible for loving myself. And sometimes we lose sight of that because of so many outside distractions. And I don't say distractions in a negative way, but you know what? Take it how it resonates. If you want to take it as distractions to negative, that's on you. It ain't got nothing to do with me. That's between you, God, Buddha, and the rest of the crew. But I think the most important thing is that it's okay to say no. Hell no. No. Any way you deem to want to put it, it's okay. The other thing that I definitely want to keep people in mind is that you have to start forgiving yourself. We are all human. We all make mistakes. But how many times are you going to beat yourself in the ass with a book bag full of bricks because something that happened then, you having a better understanding of it now, but you want to whip your ass now for what you didn't know then? That's why they're called lessons. That's why they're called mistakes. We're all called to learn different things at different ways and different paces, and that's something that we have to accept of ourselves, that we are not perfect. We are going to mess up. I mess up all the daggone time. But what the difference is that with self-awareness, when you know you messed up, do what's needed to, right the wrong. You know, Karma is very real, and people say, well, I don't believe in karma. I'm like, yo, but it believes in you. So it may not hit you now, it may hit you, down the road. And I've said this before in plenty of other video blogs that I've done. But yeah, but karma is very real. And this is Googleable. You can look it up. Everybody has a smartphone. If you don't, I'll use a computer, a computer, of course. But karma only comes in to balance the scales. So if something that was done, if you've done something that was like hella wrong, karma comes in because the scales need to be balanced. Order has to be put back in place. Alignment must happen. So you always have to be mindful of how you treat people. Do good, you get good back. If you do some effed up, you can expect to get some shit back. Like I said, it may not be now, it could come later, it can be generational, who knows? But it's all about what you do in this moment. How you love yourself, how you love others, treat people, or love thy neighbor as thyself. Treat people how you want to be treated, and not just on the surface level, like all the way down to the white meat level. Like, how do you truly want to be treated? And you teach people how to treat you. So if you hold yourself to a higher standard, if you have your firm boundaries and stuff, and you can say, no, that's not working for me, or no, I don't know your love language, but I would like to know it, or master all the love languages, so that makes you more versatile when it comes to people, not just in the sense of a workplace environment where you get to learn, but in your personal relationships, in your friendships and stuff. It's like you'll never get tired of learning more about yourself if you make the conscious effort to work on you. And sometimes that's going to call you to separate yourself from family and friends who are not going to understand. Your journey is your journey. It's not, like I was saying, your journey is your journey. And sometimes we want to have company on our journey, but half the time we're not meant to have company, because we have to appreciate the company that we have within ourselves. That internal factor that some people like to ignore. I know through the whole pandemic, people wanted to be able to go and do stuff. Oh, we can't go out, but I'm gonna go hang out with people that I know. Like, nah, it don't work like that. But the thing is that this pandemic really showed you how comfortable people are with being by themselves and their own thoughts, because of the simple fact, whatever was going on in their head, whatever there was going on in their home and stuff, they had the excuse of going to work and avoiding it altogether. Nah, homie, them problems still going to be there. But people really found out what type of person they're married to, what type of person they are. Where are they in their spiritual foundation? Is it made out of sand? Is it made out of stone? Is it made out of brick? All I know is mine's made out of brick, stone, concrete, all those in between, with the steel bars in there. I'm like a nail fastened in a short place. But people really got to know themselves and those that they hang around with. So I just hope that everybody that took that time to really understand what they want, what they don't want, what they're going to tolerate, what they're not going to tolerate. Because the more people are coming into their own consciousness, people aren't putting up with the same shit that they used to. I know, I'm not. And, pardon this information, but, I had a big realization after losing my brother about with myself, how I dealt with people and stuff. So I started treating people accordingly. I started loving accordingly. I love unconditional, But sometimes some of us are just meant to give more love, but we're also meant to get love. Yeah, we are also the same love that we give, we are deserving of receiving it back and stuff. And that could be in a multitude of ways, but that would be only something that you would know, and that you would basically come to have an understanding of yourselves. There's nothing wrong with taking a time out, from life, from everything, and having what's called a effort day to really get in tune with you. You got to tune out to tune in. And there's nothing wrong with not knowing what you want. For the life of me, I don't understand people, they think that they'll go and meet somebody and, okay, yeah, well, maybe they'll help me figure out what I want. No, that's your job. It's your job to figure out what you want, how you want to live your life, before you go even think about entertaining something else, because we are all on different levels of healing. Healing is just not one level. There's a multitude of levels that we have to go through, and it's all just getting you to a higher sense of, self-enlightenment, I'll say, because you're going to be you a long time. And I say that to myself, I say it to others, because you are, like, that's some real shit right there. Like, you're gonna be you a long time, so you might as well just go ahead and get comfortable. And vulnerability, as I've said before, is not a bad word. It actually just gives you a sense of freedom. The other thing I want to touch base on is that social media is not real life, number one. Number two, don't forget that people really know you in real life. And number three, social media has made people completely lazy when it comes to communication. It's like the phone works both ways, social media works both ways. My rule of thumb is I'm not a big fan of leaving people on red, because we are all in need of something. And that text that somebody may send you may be their lifeline, and they may need a spark of something just to keep them going and stuff. Nobody is that damn busy. If you got time to go to the bathroom, to wipe your ass, to eat, and everything else in between, you have the time to respond to somebody, whether it's a quick phone call, whether it's a text, because tomorrow is not promised. We have to take advantage of the moments that we have now, because they are precious. And people really do think, for the love of everything that's delulu, that time is on their side. No, time is on nobody's side. Time is on the Lord's side. And you have to take advantage of this present moment, because it is the gift. You're not who you used to be yesterday. You don't know what you're going to be tomorrow, because that's the future. All you have is right now. So live the life that you want. Raise your vibrations, get away from things that do not serve your higher purpose. We are very spiritual beings having a very 3D, reality, and a lot of things looking on the news. Shit has been really real for a long time. So it's time to get real with yourself, get real honest with yourself, love those that love you, be there for those, and invest in those that are willing and open and have the heart space to be there for you, like really emotionally, physically, spiritually, at the end of the day. That's all I'm saying. A little kindness goes such a long way, and that's what the world needs now. It needs to be shown that there are still kind people around. There are still people outside of your family that really mess with you, that love you in spite of your faults. We're all, like I said before, we all mess up, we all have faults. And with all the faults that we do have, your struggle and how you got over could really help somebody, so they don't make the same mistake. So help one to help all. And as you hear from the breeze and stuff, it's getting cold out here. I'm turning into a human popsicle. So let me wrap this up. So just remember that, don't forget about you. Nobody can take care of you like you take care of you. You are just as important as anybody else. And you deserve the highest form of love, because we all deserve abundance. We all deserve happiness, no matter what has happened in our past. I'm here to tell you, you are not your past. You are every bit of what your ancestors want, and even more. But it shouldn't take someone else to tell you your potential. You have to clear the clutter, clear the window with Windex to see your own potential and live it to its highest volume. So on that note, like I said, have the day that you think you deserve, and be good to yourself and to others. And as always, live life positive. Peace.